Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at how often we should shampoo our hair and whether or not we should use soap. So we're going to be looking at the do's and don'ts of shampoo and soap. And the simple answer to the first question, how often should we shampoo our hair? I would say no more than once a week, and maybe go as long as only once a month. Somewhere in between once a week to once a month. Now how about soap? Should we ever use soap? And realistically, no, we really shouldn't ever use soap. Because cleaning is a mechanical action, not a chemical action. Although there are times we're exposed to certain chemicals where soap could help us get rid of that. But otherwise, the big problem we have with using soap is it washes away the sebum. It washes away our oils and acids on our skin. That's our first line of defense. And not only that, but it also washes away the vitamin D3. So this is really important. When do you not want to use soap? You never want to use soap after you get some sunshine to get your vitamin D, because it takes about 2 days for the vitamin D3 to be absorbed into the bloodstream from the sebum. So if we take a shower, we have to limit where we use soap if we're going to use it, under our arms and the growing area. You don't want to use soap around your body where you've got sun exposure, because then it rinses off the vitamin D3. So we lose the vitamin D3 when we use soap, but most importantly, we lose our first line of defense. Remember, our skin is our first line of defense, and it uses oils and acids to feed bacteria that then attack other bacteria. So the idea of antibacterial soap is a joke. All soap is actually a joke when it comes to trying to protect ourselves from germs, because we need the oils and the acids to protect ourselves from the germs, and the soap removes those, so it defeats the purpose of what it claims to do. Oh, but wait a second, didn't all these people start not seeing problems when the doctors finally washed their hands before surgery? Exactly. Well, what are they doing? They're bypassing our first line of defense. They're cutting into the body. Or they're injecting things into the body we should never be injected with anything. Vaccines, there's a lot of reasons why we don't want vaccines. One of the many reasons, it bypasses our first line of defense. So when we use soap, we're destroying our first line of defense. We should really never use soap, and from that perspective, we should never shampoo our hair, right? Can we do that? Well, you know what? When I finally upgraded my computer in the late 1990s, so I could get on to the internet, and, I started going to raw food message boards, and of course, it's interesting to look at people who embrace raw food. They seem to be almost like a race among themselves to an extent, because they seem more aware about other things. It seems like, at least most of them are, or a good percentage of them are. It seems to go hand in hand, I guess. If you're going to pay attention to what you eat, you might want to pay attention to what else is going on, what you're putting on your body, because we absorb things this way. And I remember the discussion talked about people not shampooing their hair and how long it took to get over that first initial stage where, if you shampoo every day, you strip away all those oils, remember? And then what happens? The body comes back with a vengeance the next day to make up for your mistake. And what happens if you don't shampoo the next day? The body says, well, we got to keep putting, you've been doing this every day, so we're going to keep bringing that oil back every day. So what happens after about a couple of days, it gets so greasy looking, you can't tolerate it anymore. So the first time I tried to go without shampoo, I made it about a week. They say it takes about 2 weeks to finally get over the point where the body keeps throwing out a bunch of garbage or grease out there, and it finally realized, you're already a greasehead, we don't need any more grease. So anyway, after about a week, I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't stand the way it was just too greasy. And I broke down, I gave up on it. But then that subject came back up again several years later. And I said, okay, well, I've learned a few things since then. I've heard that Giuliano, who has this real long hair way down to here, doesn't use shampoo, he uses honey. And I thought, well, I didn't try honey before. I always use what other people use, like lemon and lime juice. And I said, well, let me try this. I'll try this to see if I can get over the hump this time. So what I did the second time I attempted this, I went 3 weeks using honey as my shampoo. The honey didn't strip away my oils, but it did strip away the dirt. So it allowed me to get over that hump where the body kept throwing a bunch of oil to bring back for what we keep stripping away. And I finally made it past that hump. When I made it to the 3-week mark, I stopped using honey and I started using a lemon or a lime. I just take it into the shower with me. I don't have a whole lot of hair, so it's pretty easy to wet my hair and squeeze that on there and blend it in, and that will rinse off the dirt and not totally strip away all the oils like the shampoo does. And I actually did that for several years. No shampoo whatsoever. And one thing I noticed about it is there's sort of a natural type of mousse that we have on our hair when we don't strip it away all the time. And I've never used mousse in my hair, so I really don't know what that's like, but I would imagine that it's trying to simulate what we would do if we were living naturally and wasn't stripping away all this valuable oil that we're supposed to have. That's part of our defense system. And one of the things I noticed is before I used to have to shampoo every day, for some reason when I would sleep, my hair would just totally go out of shape or whatever. So when I woke up, I had to start the whole process over again so my hair would, look presentable. And what I noticed when I stopped using the shampoo is that I had that natural mousse in my hair. So when I slept, I didn't wake up with it all messed up. So I didn't have that need to shampoo every day. And what I would do is I could go several days and I just use the lemon juice or lime juice. And that worked great for several years, but finally, that oil did finally build up where I just couldn't take it anymore. It really was kind of getting too thick. So I went back to shampooing, and now I shampoo once a week. And you guys, if you pay attention, you can probably tell when I do that, because my hair definitely looks different. It's more fluffier. And then I don't do anything for several days. I don't have to do anything for several days. After the 3rd or 4th day, depending upon weather conditions and what I'm exposed to, I might have to wet it, part of it, or go ahead and shower it up again, and maybe even use some lemon juice or occasionally. So now what I do is I only use a shampoo once a week, and then throughout the week if I need to, a lot of times just water is all I need to do and it will look fine. Other times that's not enough, I had to add a little lemon or lime juice. But I'm not stripping away my oil every day over and over and over and over. So you can play around with this, and in the beginning, like I said, it comes back with a vengeance, so you can try the honey if you don't have any objections using honey on a temporary basis. And then go to the lemon or lime juice if you need to throughout the week, but try not to do it so frequently. And the reason why this conversation got started the second time around when I was on a message board was someone was talking about Mick Jagger's girlfriend and how she was famous for her hair, and how she would only shampoo like once a month, and she believed that it damaged the hair. And of course she appeared on over 100 on the cover of 100 magazine covers at that time back in 2000. So apparently she knew what she was talking about how to make her hair look good. So you don't want to shampoo frequently. If you do use shampoo, try to get shampoo that doesn't have any sodium lauryl sulfate. That's what makes everything foam up so much. Also try to avoid the alcohols, the propyl alcohols and things like that. And then you can try the lemon juice or the lime juice and see how you like to use that. And then as far as soap, again, cleaning should be a mechanical action, not a chemical action. Now occasionally I get my hands greasy and water's not going to clean them up. I need to use some soap at that time. I'll use like some Dr. Bonner's Castile soap or something along those lines. But otherwise I don't use soap on an ongoing basis at all, ever. I shampoo, I don't wet my hair, I don't use any soap. I gotta shower several times a day because it's very humid in Houston and it's real easy to sweat. Right now I got a real slight sweat going on, but Houston's starting to cool down a little bit, and 10 degrees makes a big difference in Houston when you have a high humidity also. So you sweat a lot, and because of that I got to shower a lot, but luckily I don't have to keep shampooing my hair all the time. And I used to all the time, and we don't need to do that. We don't want to do that. It's going to harm your hair. Now what about dandruff? What am I got? I got to shampoo my hair because of the dandruff. Well, if you got dandruff, you got your lymph system backing up into your skin. Your kidneys aren't functioning. Now your body's using the third kidney, your skin. So if you have dandruff, that means Your lymph system is dirty. Your cells are swimming in waste matter. You got to clean out your lymph system. What's the best way to do that? Do a solid food vacation. Go down below into the description box below, and you can see a seminar I gave on how to do a solid food vacation. That's the best way to clean out your colon, the best way to clean out your lymph system, and then that way you can stop using your kidneys or your skin as your third kidneys. Now, in order to do this, you might actually have to go to the trouble to support your kidneys, but there's a good chance you might not. Try the juice fast first, the solid food vacation, and see if that doesn't work. As long as you're urinating, as long as you're seeing some sediment in your urine, then you know your kidneys are going to get healthier and better, and the next thing you know, you won't be using your skin as an alternative channel of elimination. Remember, that's what diseases are, basically. The self-limited diseases is when our body uses the certain organs as alternative channels of elimination, like the skin, and the nose, and the sinuses, and the lungs. Then when it uses the tissues, then we go through these long-term stages of disease where the body's trying to deal with garbage inside of us. So what's the best solution for our hair and our skin? It begins inside. You got to be healthy inside. And remember, our skin and our hair is a reflection of what we've been doing. So sometimes when you embrace a healthy lifestyle, especially if you go a slower route where you're just eating a raw vegan diet, sometimes we break down tissue faster than we build it up. A lot of people are concerned about losing too much weight, and that happens quite frequently when people adopt a raw food diet. And I've noticed over the years, I would watch people come into this that would come in at a guy at 6 foot tall and was already underweight at 140 and would go all the way down to 110, and the next thing you know, he's back up to 140 and 160 on the same diet that he lost it on. So the thing is, we break down tissue faster many times than the rate we can build it back. But I find that on a juice fast, that's minimized. So if some people think they're losing too much weight on a juice fast, we'll stop and think, are you drinking enough calories? If you are, you should not be losing any lean body mass. The chances are what you're doing instead is you're getting rid of a bunch of garbage, and you need to get rid of that garbage. There's a slight possibility you're not building back up tissue fast enough, but if you keep going the way you're going, if you stick with the juices, you'll build it back up faster than any other way. So it's time to get excited, my friends. It's time to realize there are no chemical solutions for our diseases. There are no chemical solutions for our skin and our hair, because all those are lifestyle related. And when you take charge of your health, when you take a solid food vacation, and when you stop making mistakes, your whole life is a treat.